Greetings, everyone. Greetings. This is Beyond Boardroom Business, and I'm your host, Coach Stephanie. And you are in for an amazing episode. And we are featuring Secret Miracles Foundation. I mean, they have this segment that helps the future leaders, and they have every month they showcase a bright star. And this is such an amazing program. I can't wait to interview them because everyone needs to know about Secret Miracles and what they're doing for the next generation. So, without further ado, let me go ahead and bring the founder of Secret Miracles, Mrs. Ernest Cummings, to the stage. Welcome, Ernest. How are you?
I am fine. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Coach Stephanie.
Yes, yes, yes. So, as the founder of Secret Miracles Incorporated, please share with everyone what your foundation is about before we bring on our special guest.
Definitely. Secret Miracles is an amazing nonprofit. And what we do, we prepare students for college prep, career planning, and entrepreneurship.
Yes, awesome. This is beautiful. And I just love the gentleman that's going to be coming before us. He seems like a bright young man. And this is really great what you're doing for society because people need to understand how special they are, and you are helping them understand their value. And so for this, I really appreciate your organization and everything you do. And again, that is Secret Miracles. So without further ado, for Secret Miracles Incorporated, showcase June's future leader. Let's bring on Mr. Christian Jones. How are you?
I'm pretty good, pretty good. How about you?
I am feeling fabulous. Thank
Good.
you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you
I
for inviting.
mean, Miss Ernest, she just mentioned so much about you and everything that you're doing, and that's just amazing because you could be doing anything, but you have a great head on your shoulders, and we just want to talk to you because I'm sure that you can inspire many others your age because it's about your generation. You're the future,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
know? Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself, Christian.
So, like you said, my name is Christian Jones. I'm 21. I've been born and raised in Georgia. Before everybody became popular living in Georgia. I would say I'm very quiet, but I'm getting more out my shell, helping people. I'm more willing to help people. I'm starting to learn I'm a little more of a leader than thought I was a couple of years back. So that allowed me to sort of kind of get involved in places that I never thought I'd be involved in and explore avenues that I never thought I'd be involved in because of me finding out what I was born to do. And I would say that my favorite thing to do is probably right now recently is to watch movies and read books like every now and then. So
Okay. Do you have a favorite movie that you would like to share with us?
I have a lot, but I would say my like most favorite would be the Fast and Furious trilogy, like the whole
Okay.
all of them that series.
So, what do you like about the Fast and Furious?
I think I'm a car guy, so like I would say the cars at most.
Okay, okay, I can understand that. Any good books to read?
Um, I've recently read it's a book called Balance by Toure Roberts. I'm not sure if y'all heard of it. I've read that
Okay.
book before, and then the book I have on that I'm getting ready to read soon is a book called I'm Okay, You're Okay. I forgot the author's name
Mhm.
because I haven't seen it for a while. So those are like my top books I'm on that I'm read. Then there's some other books I've recently read as well.
Okay. So, what makes you think you're qualified to be a leader, Christian?
I would say some I've been told a lot of times a leader doesn't really go looking for it. They're usually doing the job and then it just comes out of them. I think what qualifies a person to be a leader is you're doing the work, and while you're doing the work, somebody they'll go to you and they'll go to you and all you doing you're doing the work. You're not trying to boost yourself up because you know how to do it. You're being a helping hand because you can't be a leader and then nobody else want to follow you. So though you gotta have somebody following you for you to be a leader. So I would say if you want to be a leader, you have to be very humble to be like, okay, I know all this, but I also need to help somebody get to where I am. So I'm not always just the only person knowing how to do
That's true. It does take a community. You are so right about that. Now, how did you hear about Secret Miracles?
it. Funny story. So I was working at a restaurant close to where I live, and so I give you some backstory. Around this time that I started working in this restaurant, I had started doing my Google course it's called Coursera for cybersecurity. And I remember I had went started working there. I went there because I needed a job to work because I had started paying my phone bill. So I said, okay, I'll go. I didn't really want to get into restaurants because around this time I wasn't like real outgoing to restaurants. So I said, okay, I'll try the restaurant. I started enjoying it, and then I remember it was one day, Miss Arnisa came to the restaurant one day, and I had, you can't when you're serving people, you can't really make a big impression on them, and I didn't think I ever made an impression. So I remember I was serving her for a consistent amount of times, and then I ended up leaving the restaurant, and I remember we were coming around. I left the restaurant. I started focusing more on my schoolwork. So I said, okay. So then I was coming home with my mother one day, and we had saw Miss our niece because I didn't know she lived in the neighborhood. And I also didn't know my parents knew her. So we had stopped by and we saw her, and they had just had a whole conversation. And then I remember, and she recognized me. And then that's when she had recommended Secret Miracles to us. And she told us about how she will pay my college work for me to get to do. She'll pay it, and she'll pay my college work, and then I just get into my career. So it's nothing I don't have to worry about until I get into my career. So that's basically how I found out. So kind of
Oh,
crazy how that works too.
that's amazing. Now, um, what makes you think that education is so important for your future?
I think it's important because it's one of the easiest ways to learn stuff. It's one of the easiest ways to help you learn what you want to do. Because a lot of times you may have a sense of what you want to do in this world, but somebody got to train you it. And if you get the right person to train you, you pretty much be like you'll sail through whatever you learn it through, and it'll be easy to excel it. Because if you don't have somebody train you with it, and you're just doing it as you doing it on your own, it's more you just going through trial and error.
That's true. You're so right. So, what made you pick that particular industry?
So cybersecurity. It really wasn't my first choice. I remember growing up. I'm tall, so like a lot of times when people associate somebody being tall with playing basketball. So a lot of times, I tried the avenue a little bit. I said, okay, I'll do in high school. I mean, not high school. I'll do in middle school. I said, okay, I'll try it. Wasn't that I'm more so like watching it than playing it. So I said, okay, I'm not gonna do that. And then people started mentioning, oh, you should do engineering. And I looked into that, and it was like that's a little more sciencey, and I don't really care for science. So then I said, so now I just started coming around. So a lot of times around the house, I'm the tech person. I help them like, okay, the TV messing up, I help them do this. So then as I started getting, into it, I said, okay, I actually like this. So that's what my parents suggested. You should do that as a career. So I started looking into cybersecurity, and then that's where we are now.
Oh, wow, wow. Any future plans outside of cybersecurity?
When you mean future, you mean like just like of my life, or
Yes, yes, your life in
I would say,
general.
I want to have a family. I didn't grow up, I have a stepdad, so I didn't grow up with a dad. So, when you have something, you want to do it. So I want to have a family. I want to travel the world. My mother called me adventurous. So I want to go places a lot of people don't go to, and I also I think I'm starting to realize I want to help people that don't, the less fortunate. I didn't always grow up I didn't grow up how I am now. It was my mother. We grew up me and my sister grew up was just my mother providing. So it's when you grow up like that, it's easier to want to give back to people who have a less fortunate. So I would say giving back, starting a family.
Okay, that is beautiful. And Mrs. Ernest Cummings, can you tell us about how you feel about Mr. Christian Jones and how everything is coming along for him?
Well, I tell you what, Mr. Christian Jones is our little protege because we have supported students with tuition in the past, and we still do. But he is our first Google
Wow.
cybersecurity student. And to me, that is awesome because Google have a lot of certifications out there that a lot of people don't know about. And in actuality, they're pretty reasonable. And once you finish their certification, then Google will assist you with getting a job. They will help you, find out, where you want to go from there. And they provide a lot of assistance services like Secret Miracles to their students. But Mr. Christian don't know it, but we talked about it. But my intent is to go with Mr. Christian to the FBI or one of those agencies that do cybersecurity and showcase him, with all of his credentials. And Mr. Christian probably will end up being one of the top cybersecurity individuals in these here United States of America and overseas.
Oh
Wow,
yeah.
that's huge. How do you feel about that, Christian?
You know, I wouldn't lie if I say I was a little nervous, but I'm learning with cybersecurity. All it is, as long as it's like, as long as you learning and you apply it, they'll teach you certain stuff that you keep learning. They'll teach you stuff that you to help you succeed more. So I got a little more, help me a little more.
That's
So I
awesome.
want
So,
to jump. I want to jump in and say this. We are a mentoring nonprofit. So, Mr. Christian, rest assured, when you get to the point of you'll get your certification, you will definitely have a cybersecurity mentor that
Wow.
will walk you through the steps, tell you the ins and outs about it. So you can really, really say, yes, I want to do that. So rest
The fun,
assured, we have your back and you know that already.
yeah. The funny thing is, real quick, I have a friend of my parents who's in cybersecurity, and he's more on the other side, and I appreciate his advice, but I think I want more of a mentor who has like, they can he's in a different like field of cybersecurity that I want to be in. So I think it's funny that you talk about a mentor when I literally was looking for another mentor. So that's crazy.
that's what it's about with Secret Miracles. They aim
Hmm.
to please. And
Yeah.
it's about creating future powerful trailblazers like yourself. So, Christian, tell me, how do you stay so focused when it comes to self learning? Because you don't have a teacher over you
Yeah.
when you're studying for this. So, how do you do it?
I would say discipline, and only reason why is because my senior year that's when COVID had really hit.
Okay.
So my junior year we had, I think the last 3 months I was at home, so it wasn't, I thought it was gonna be like 3 months I was gonna be fine. So but then my senior year hit and it was like, okay, you're at home the whole school year, and so that's okay. This is gonna be, I don't know how it's gonna work. And so the first couple of months I used to do it in my room, and I said I would be
Mm.
falling asleep. I said, okay, I can't do this in my room. So I started going downstairs to the office, and now I'm like, okay, now I'm a little more productive. And as I went through that school year, it's trying to kind of show me, okay, this you got to be disciplined to do this to help. Like, okay, you need to this time you need to set this time aside. Okay, this is what this you're gonna do schoolwork right here, and then if you want to take a break, put it in the time, take a break. And as I learned to start jotting down my time, that's when I learned like, okay, this is how I need to discipline myself to do schoolwork. And it's the same way with my schoolwork now. I do a lot of reading in the morning, like my routine stuff. Like my niece is at home at the moment, so I put her in my routine now. And so a
Okay.
lot of that is I do schoolwork, or that is in my routine now to also do schoolwork. So it's like as soon as I get to like this certain time to do schoolwork, I'm doing schoolwork, and that's pretty much it. Now sometimes I will, come off course and be like, okay, and then so I'll sometimes change and be like, okay, I came off course, maybe I should do a couple more minutes of this. So then it's like it balances it out. But yeah.
Wow, that's great. That's great. So let me ask you, Christian, how are your friends? What's going on with your generation? Are they just as inspired as you are to succeed?
I think it depends. Honestly, I think it just depends on what's driving them. It depends on who's in their corner. Because I've had friends, people who I've grown up with, who like they go into a whole nother path just because of they don't have nobody to help them. They don't believe they can do it. They think just because they've been raised a certain way, they gotta do this thing, or they're not gonna be able to do it. And so a lot of times, that's why I think it's very important to have people. It can be parents, it can be a kid, it can be anybody who tell you, as long if you apply yourself, you can really do anything. It's not about where you got raised from. Like I told you, I'm from Clayton. I was raised in Clayton County with a single mother. I By that standard, I probably shouldn't even be able to do what I'm doing now, and even with my future. So it's just, you just gotta apply yourself, and don't believe what somebody tell you. Do if you think you can do it, find somebody to help you. You can do it.
That is so true. That's great. And Mrs. Ernest Cummings, can you tell us what was the inspiration behind you showcasing on a monthly schedule these future leaders?
Well, what inspired me to start showcasing on a monthly schedule, Coach Stephanie, was that I have met so many amazing young people, and I just feel that the world needs to know about them. Because, you look at TV and you hear all these bad things about our youth and this and that. But statistically, our youth are really more advanced, and our youth are doing more positive things than the negative things that we see with the social media. So I made a charge with my nonprofit that we're going to showcase them at least once a month. And then, as you and I were talking yesterday, I think I'm going to bump it up to twice a month. And then maybe I'll bump it up to 5 times a month, because I
Wow.
think the more that we do it and the more we expose it on social media, that we do have young people that are going to be our future leaders. They are going to know what they're talking about. They are smart. They are intelligent, and they can run this world probably better than that is being done right now. So that was my motivation. And my challenge is to continue to look for young people that we can showcase on a regular basis, so that people can know, hey, Secret Miracles got it going on. They got some wonderful leaders out there that they're churning out. And, that's the game plan.
That's beautiful. I love it. And just imagine all of the people that you're blessing and helping them understand their true value. Boy, Secret Miracles is just, wow. It's definitely what we need in society. So, again,
Mhm.
thank you for that. And so, Christian, I always say, um, in life, there are leaders and followers. And if you're going to be a follower, follow a great leader. But if you're going to be a leader, be a great leader. And so you tell me, what makes you uh, a cut above the rest? You said that you have leadership qualities, but how do you handle it when you come across people and you have to display your leadership? Does it make you nervous? Does it make you angry? What does it do when you realize that you're standing firm in your leadership qualities?
I would say some. I think I used one time when we were at a restaurant before. I remember it was like, and we had so the restaurant I used to work at, we used to do like events. Like we cater an event basically, and a lot of times you don't know how many people was at the event. And so I remember it was an event. It was about like 100 and something people, and it was about two servers and three servers, and I was like the head server at that time. And I remember I used to be like they see a lot of times when that's why a lot of times when you get like positions and you start saying you're a leader, people are gonna start looking for you. And around that time, I was already in the position of being the leader. So they were already looking for me. So as soon as I got through the door, I already knew it was gonna be, they were already gonna be looking for me. So I would say, by when I got through the door, I was already. It's like I would say it's a nervousness, and also I'm in the overthinking a little bit, because
Okay.
like my nervousness is I don't want to be wrong and say okay go do this, and then it's like maybe I shouldn't have told him that, and then my overthinking is like okay maybe this I told him to do this, it worked out, but I probably could have did a little better. And I think a lot when you're leading something like that, it's very you gotta work through the nervousness, because if you stay nervous and you're not gonna lead nothing, you just gonna have a position and nothing's gonna be happening. So it's just I just work through it. I work through when I'm nervous. I work through when I think I'm gonna overthink. As long as the job get done and I exhibited that I'm helping people, I think that's the best quality to have as a leader. As long as you're helping somebody and you're setting them on a path that's right, then you should be a good leader.
That is so true. I totally agree with that. Now, let me ask you this. When you get angry, how do you handle your anger?
uh, I'll say I think it's been times where it's like I can control it, where it's like okay, I can tell myself okay now I'm getting annoyed because they doing this when I said do this differently. So sometimes I may just be quiet, or I may walk away or try to take my mind off of it. And there's other times where it's like I cannot react to it, and I end up reacting, and I may react in a bad way, but I end up leaving. And sometimes I'll go apologize, or I'll just figure out a way to like explain it in a better way. I'll clean up what I try to explain, because when somebody's angry, you can't really they're not gonna take what you explain to them. They're just gonna take they're gonna take the anger. So now they don't even want to talk to you. So it's just that's how I think I would clean it up and how I handle when I'm angry.
That's a good one. That's really a good one. Mrs. Ernest Cummings, is there anything you would like to add to this?
Well, don't ask me how I handle anger because I'm not going to tell you.
So it's a little different, huh?
A little bit, a little bit. But yes, what I want to say is that I am so blessed to have been given the opportunity to
Yes.
help young people find their way because I had great mentors and still do have amazing mentors in my life because nobody knows everything. So
Yes.
when you have someone that's been there, done that, and they are willing to reach down and help you miss some of the pitfalls, I think that's awesome. So
Yeah.
that's why I feel blessed to be in this position. And I always, as long as I have breath in my body, I will strive to help to nature. You know what I'm saying? Individuals, especially our young people. Because when you are young, as you and I both know, we've been there, done that. If you're trying to find your way and you don't have anybody to help you, you make a lot of mistakes.
Man.
And many of us have looked back and said, wow, if only I knew this, or if only I knew that. So that's why Secret Miracle is one reason why we exist. So we can help the young people. Well, if I knew that, because we're offering it to you. And it's not just Secret Miracles, there are a whole lot of other nonprofits out there that are doing amazing jobs that we partner with, that we're looking to partner with. And I think, I don't think I know that it takes a village to
Yeah.
raise a child, whether the child is 2, 3, 5, 25. We have individuals that's 30, going back to school that we are assisting because
Nice.
I feel like if I don't do my part, then I'm a missing piece of the puzzle. And I never want to be that. I am grateful. I am blessed because I had amazing mentors and they shaped me to
Mhm.
who I am. And I know I'm a doggone good person and I'm smart, I'm
Man,
intelligent, and I'm kind.
that is so true and so important. So, Christian, let me ask you, as a leader, you have to have a balanced life. So,
Yeah.
how is your eating habits and your fitness?
Mhm.
That all of that takes a part in being a leader.
Yes, I So my eating habits are very. I would say they're a little sporadic depending on what it is. But I would say my eating like I don't eat as much sweets as I used to. If I say that,
Okay.
so
Okay.
I balance my meals at best. So like a lot of times if I eat breakfast, I won't eat lunch, and if I do eat lunch, it'll be like a smaller lunch so I can eat dinner. And so I balance it based on how I feel the day of. And then with
Okay.
my fitness, I gotta get on it, but sometimes I try to force myself to, I may walk or I may do a treadmill. I really want to do it like every day, but I'm still, still working on that. But it is
Okay.
important to have it, so it's like another form of discipline basically, because once you got discipline, it's easy, to lead.
That's true. And you hit the nail on the head. That's sugar. It is
Yeah,
very addictive. I think it's
yeah,
stronger than crack on the
yeah,
mind. And as they mentioned before, sugar on the brain causes dementia. Sugar in the mouth is cavities. Sugar, it's just overall bad. So that's really good that you're trying to regulate the amount of sugar that you put into your body because you're going to be a future family man. How does that
yeah.
feel?
It feel good, Like I said, it's when you don't have something, you really yearn for it. I think I think I'm gonna enjoy it because I have, like I said, my niece is at home, so it's like I'm basically doing the family life, but it's not as I guess not
Mhm.
as personal because it's not my own child. So I think I'm gonna enjoy it. Be the best
Okay.
person, the best father I can be.
So she's your practice family, right?
Basically, yes. change diapers, feed her. Yeah.
Oh, that is so cute. I love it. I love it. So, do you have anything you would like to share with the viewers and the listeners, Christian?
I would say just don't follow the trends of what the world says, what Instagram says when it comes to youth. Because like especially like my generation, we're very you think that you gotta go like a certain way. You gotta be a rapper. You gotta be this and that, or to be a million to make money. When it's like because if you just apply, if you figure out what you want to do and you just find somebody to help you and you apply yourself, you can live the lifestyle, just not the way that you think that you need to live it. Because we have, I think my generation has so many smart people in this work in my generation, but we conform to what's popular just to get easy money. Where if we would change do we want to if we did what we were put on the earth for, we can change the world in our own unique way, in a way that people recognize us for this instead of being recognized as the next upcoming rapper, singer, actor, whatever it is that's popular. So I'll just say, just if you gonna just follow what you feel you want to do, and then everything else, and then excel at it to the point where you can live the life you want to live, and that in return make you a leader to want to help somebody else, that's coming up with you as well. Because when I think every time you like go up, or like you go to another level of, like, I guess, promotion in your life, I think you should have somebody you can encourage or help to get to the place you left. So just always be given for to anybody who you can see. Don't allow yourself to get a big head and think you're bigger than everybody, because that's when you can end up falling. And just have great mentors, and then you figure out this life thing.
That is so true. Now, you mentioned how because of your height, people wanted you to play
Yeah.
sports, but you were determined to do something else. So what gave you the strength, the inner strength to say, "Hey, this is what I'm going to do beyond what people would like to see me do. This is what I want to do."
I would say, I think one time it was I'll say one. I think it's two things, but one of the things, I think my first one would be, I guess, to prove people wrong, which is not really a good thing. It's like a balance, I guess, to say, like, okay, maybe this is not really how you want to do it, to change how you want to do. But I remember we were on a cruise one day, and I was standing in line, and somebody asked me, they were asking me, "Are you gonna play basketball?" And I said no, and he said, "You must be smart." And I got a little offended, because it's like, okay, that's you giving me two options. Like, so I said, okay, so since I'm not gonna do basketball, I said I might as well just go the way and say I'm gonna be smart. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go while I'm since it's those two ways I think somebody a black man needs to be. I'm gonna go do this, and then I'm gonna go figure out what I want to do to drive myself to it. And that thing that I want to do was tech. So I got into tech, and now it's just applying myself and driving it to be like, what is my measure of success? Because even with the people saying that I need to be this or that, I need to have my own measure of what's successful to me. What's the
Yes.
thing that, if you got it today, what will make you content? So it's just I think that's what drives me, is I know this doing this is what makes me content, and what I want to do, and being where I want to be in this life. Did that answer
That's
your question?
Oh, you certainly did. Ernest, would you like to say anything?
Definitely. I always have something to say. I just want to thank not only Christian, but all of our mentees
Yes.
who have allowed us to be their mentors and support them, we know, to help them along the way. And as they grow from our mentoring, that they can be mentored by. It's a continuous thing, Christian, throughout your whole life. There's always going to be mentors, somebody to show you the next level and the next. And I'm just so proud of you, how you said that you reach out and you reach, out to others to help them. That is the way to be, because nobody knows everything. And as a team, I think we all can make this world a better place. So thank you, Christian, for
Yeah.
accepting the challenge and allowing Secret Miracles to be your mentor and help
Oh,
you to become the best cybersecurity person
yes.
that has ever lived.
Thank you for
Yes. That is so beautiful. Well, I thank you all for this amazing episode. Again, it's featuring Secret Miracles Incorporated and their showcase of June's future leader, Mr. Christian Jones. Thank you so much. I definitely wish you the best for the rest of your life and for all of unplanned blessings that will just fall into your lap. And don't forget about us when you
Yes,
just
ma'am.
get out there. Okay? Well, thank you so much, Christian. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. And thank you again, Mrs. Ernest Cummins, for showcasing the future leader for the month of June, Mr. Christian Jones. I really appreciate it. All right, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed that. I mean, excuse me, just the future leaders, the showcase with Secret Miracles Inc. Make sure you check out their foundation. And she has so many more inspiring future leaders to come forward and just show up and show out. And this is just amazing. This is prosperity in action. This is just an amazing time to come together because again, it takes a village. And Mrs. Ernest Cummings, she is the village. She is coming through with Secret Miracles Inc. And again, man, just to help the future. And she's doing her part. Because I always say, each one reach 10. Man, she's reaching them by the hundreds. So please make sure you check out secretmiracles.org and contact Mrs. Ernest Cummings and send her your volunteers, send her your future leaders, and help allow them to mentor you. Thank you so much. Again, this is Beyond Boardroom Business. I'm your host, Coach Steffanie. And until the next time, to stay positive, stay prosperous, and stay prayerful. Thank you.